Broadcasting to you live from the Orion spiral arm of the Milky Way galaxy, the solar system, planet Earth, North America, the United States of America, no longer California, Los Angeles to be pseudo-specific. My name is Brian Engelman. And today is Saturday, September 6, 2025. And this right here, the thing that you are watching, thing that we do every day at noon, the TNAM Daily Show. Well, usually every day, and usually around noon. On the Unhappy Hour. Geez, the Unhappy Hour, I just looked at it. The New American Media. There we go. Thank you all for being here. Getting our feed up and going. All right, then. All right. Good morning, Kenneth. How did Ryan hurt his arm? Who hurt his arm? Ryan? Trying to get this up and going here. I'll tell you what. Let's just launch the show. It'll give me a second to get all my feeds rolling. We'll get the party started. Welcome. Grab your beverage. Fill it up. 99 mugs of coffee on the wall. 99 mugs of coffee. Here we go.
Your guide to the truth, thenewamericanmedia.com.
All right, everybody, thanks for being here. Let's see. I have 2 pending sales. Yes. Yeah, so I do reselling, and it's great. I think it could be greater if I put 100 times the amount of effort into it. I know a lot of people that do it as their main thing. It's one of the things that I do. But maybe blowing through the inventory and quadrupling revenue is something I would like to do. But yeah, I have one on Marketplace that's pending, and I have one on eBay that's pending. Yeah, just kind of getting started. It's the weekend, baby. We're allowed to sleep in a little bit, aren't we? Thank you for being here. Kenneth, how are things for you, sir? How was your day? Having a blast over here. Buckeyes play at 3:30, and of course the Browns play tomorrow. Football's back. By the way, you know what that means? That means Strictly Football is back here on the New American Media. Season 2, Episode 2 launched yesterday. That's myself, Mike Barra, Jim Mitchell. Special thanks to Ezrael Robinson for doing our season preview show. That was Season 2, Episode 1 that dropped a couple days ago. Yesterday, we dropped Season 2, Episode 2 to talk about the Eagles' victory over the Cowboys. We did a preview of the Chiefs and Chargers, and guess what? I did correctly pick Chargers to win that game, and I also said that the Chiefs are about to have a fall off. Now, it's too early to say that, but the Chiefs did lose, and Xavier Worthy was injured. Who knows how long he'll be out. So Cleveland Browns playing tomorrow. Super excited for it. Strictly Football. Please join us and subscribe. It's The Unhappy Hour. Let me put that stuff up on the screen. The places you can find the New American Media at the bottom of the screen. But we have 2 podcasts on Spotify and Apple. The Unhappy Hour Sports Show and the TNAM Daily Show, which is covered under the Agree to Disagree Show. So you subscribe to the Agree to Disagree Show and the Unhappy Hour Sports Show. So yes, thank you all for being here. Let's unpack the news. Let's do it this way. All right. You know what I'm feeling today? Here's what I'm feeling today. I'm feeling a little bit of music. Kenneth, you get to play DJ. The music, because unfortunately, I'm very limited on what I'm allowed to do. But I do have music. So, Kenneth, you get to call. These are the words I'm going to tell you. You tell me which word, and I'm going to play this music. Chill, down-tempo, chill hop, hip-hop, lo-fi, lounge, R&B, minimal house, future pop, love, classical, epic, cinematic, world music, corporate, indie rock, acoustic, jazz, ambient, atmosphere, nature sounds, rain. Kenneth, you get to pick the music for today's program. That's chill, down-tempo, chill hop, hip-hop, lo-fi, lounge, R&B, minimal house, future pop, love, classical, epic, cinematic, world music, corporate, indie rock, acoustic, jazz, ambient, atmosphere, nature sounds, and rain. Kenneth, you get to pick. On today's program, we're going to ask, why is Trump being friendly with Zuckerberg and Bill Gates? I'm not so sure I have a good answer to that one. So let's go through what we know. First, let's talk about the Biden auto pen. This could be a monumental event if this is all thrown out. I mean, the pardon system is not designed so that unnamed staffers can sell off pardons to God knows who for God knows what purpose.
The former deputy assistant to the president, senior deputy press secretary, is going to be asked about all the Biden pardons.
This is on Fox and Friends.
And the auto pen, obviously. There's an email exchange and text message exchange that shows that Joe Biden, they were talking around him, saying he doesn't get into warrants, clearly showing, if you read the subtext, that he was not signing off and giving clemency to murderers and some of the most horrific people possible by the thousands.
You know, when this story first came out, we figured that it would end up being a pretty big story, but I had no idea it was going to be this dramatic, where you actually have emails going back and forth saying the president doesn't even know any of the people that are on this list who are going to be pardoned. I need you to send me something that gives me cover for using the auto pen. These are staffers talking back and forth for using the auto pen. This is a massive scandal.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know what the end result of it is, whether it means that the people who Joe Biden's auto pen signed a pardon for, that Joe Biden didn't even know were getting pardoned. I don't know if they get unpardoned or how this plays out, but it is a massive political scandal for those Democrat staffers who pulled this off.
And you have text, these are email exchanges. It's no one's opinion. This happened. So go through it today. Yeah,
it's black and white. It's like they took a crayon and said, I did it, and left it at the crime scene.
Written in I love that he said he written in crayon.
President Trump called this. He said, he's always been wrong about the issues, but he wasn't a radical like this.
Well, but yeah, saying Biden was wrong about the issues, but he wasn't a radical. That's fine, but he also wasn't running the country. He wasn't capable of completing sentences. The guy was walking around like C-3PO or some sort of Tesla bot. Remember all those rumors that Biden had been replaced with another Biden or with remember there was tall Biden? Of course you had dark Brandon going out there looking like Shitler. With all the remember that imagery where all the red, there's like the Red Queen. This wasn't the Joe Biden regime. This was Barack Hussein Obama's third and most honest term. So yeah, you want to know what the radicals were, like, oh, Biden wasn't this radical. Yeah, it was the puppet regime. He was installed. That's what was going on. All right. Hello, another wonderful secret. Is this your first time watching or have you changed your screen name? So how does it work? Are you on payroll? You get paid to come in and you copy paste a couple of things in podcasts that have general pro-America sentiment? Because I think that's what's going on. The rumbling is that you have some nationalist governments battling deep state, one world governments right now. And that is the ultimate battle. I guess it's nations like China, North Korea, Russia, the United States want to be nationalists. Like we're sovereign, we're independent, we're running our show. And then there's globalists, all the overthrown European nations. They want to be part of one world order, a new world order. And everybody is ruled by one unelected bureaucrat somewhere. And we lose all of our sovereignty. Nations having sovereignty is a very good thing. It keeps a lot of people honest. And in fact, if we weren't installing so many corrupt regimes across the country, across the planet, maybe a lot of these countries would be better to the people. And you've heard the stories that people who are in positions of power who are good to the people are taken out because, oh, no. Your job isn't to be good to the people. Your job is to be good to the corporations. Your job is to be good to the one world order, the deep state, the Democrats, the globalists, whatever you want to call them. That's like a raging battle. But in that battle, we've never seen you before. Another wonderful secret. You show up today and you're doing the copy paste thing. You're not talking about the subject matter that we're discussing. You're just copying and pasting stuff. Copy paste, copy paste. So what do? You copy paste it. And then you take a screenshot of it and you text it back for proof that you showed up and did your troll work. And somebody from the, I don't know what you call it, the George Soros type of non-governmental organization, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, USAID, like we're going to steal from the American taxpayers, money launder and funnel, transfer money into shadow accounts so that they could pay trolls like you to show up on accounts like ours. To copy paste, copy paste, copy paste. And then you make $20, $50, $100. I don't know what you make. $5 a post. I don't know. Is that what brought you here today? Because we've never seen you here before. And you're commenting like a regular. Yeah, paid to troll on Fiverr. Yeah, maybe that's what it is. $5 per post. You just copy paste. Somebody at corporate writes it for you. They'll send you the script. Here's the script. Just go ahead and repeat this gibberish. All right, here, let me get Kenneth. We're going to go with chill music. Kenneth is picking the music. AI generated. Only thing is when I start playing videos, I might want to mute the music, so I got to remember to do that. Maybe I'll bring it down a little bit. So So keep your eyes peeled on the Biden auto pen scandal. John Lott saying, I didn't think it was possible for the scandal to get worse, but apparently it has. All right, Jason Shear. Watch this. This woman has no idea how her life is about to change. This happened, what was it, Sports Philadelphia. Looks like a home run. The dude gets a home run ball. Because it feels good. Like, yeah, buddy. Here comes Karen. Look at this guy. This guy, the Phillies fan, he starts shaking his hand. He's like, this is the look of being rattled, like he's doing one of, like, what? This Elizabeth Warren comes over and starts Karening the hell out of this guy. Once again, let's watch it. Home run ball land. Guy runs over, yoink, grabs it. Yeah, home run balls are a free for all. Well, it was at my feet. I almost had it, and you came in and took it. That's called a baseball. That's called a home run, lady. Leave it be. There you go. Congrats, buddy. This poor guy's getting abused by this dope. He's trying to enjoy a great moment with his son. Look at how happy they both are. And she's like, excuse me, that belonged to me. Look at that. Boo to this lady. Oh my God, he gave it to her. No! No, you don't do that. No, you don't reward that shit. No, no, no. No. Oh. There's a lot of this going on, fighting over home run balls, and somebody puts a hat out and someone else grabs it. In sports memorabilia, it's a fast thing. You get it or you don't. And this whole being super angry over the thing I didn't get, it's pretty stupid. You don't have a right to get a baseball because it came near you. You have to pick it up. That's the point of the home run ball. Well, shame on this lady. Absolute shame on this lady. We're going to say, why did the guy give the damned ball away? Never reward this type of Karen with a single ounce of power or validation. Doggone it. Grow a spine, dude. Man, what a rough moment. You know, I watched this, but I didn't watch it to the end, and I am so disappointed that he gave that ball away. Yeah, the internet will figure out who this lady is for ruining that. Here's a story I don't want to cover, but we are the TNAM Trash Pandas. We dump the news on the table, and we talk about it. Horrific crime out of Charlotte, North Carolina. Authorities have released footage showing a Ukrainian refugee, Irina Zarutska, stabbed in the throat during a random attack by a career criminal, DeCarlos Brown Jr. Arrested over and over and over and over and over and over again. They keep letting the violent nut jobs out into public. I'm not going to play you the video, but it's he makes the mistake of sitting in front of this guy, and he stabs her in the throat. So, problem. Listen. TNAM preparedness. Another recommendation? Do you want to change the channel? Sure. Give me another. Is that what you mean, Kenneth? Oh yeah, that lady at the baseball game wins B of the week. Another wonderful secret is trying to earn B of the week. Copy paste, copy paste. Another wonderful secret. Are you able to communicate or just copy paste? Are you a real person or just a chat bot? All right, what recommendation are you saying, Kenneth? I'm all ears. Hey, in sports news, the Browns are signing second-round running back Quinshon Judkins to his fully guaranteed deal. Sources say all draft picks are now under contract. Judkins' legal situation is behind him because he was accused of something and charges were not filed, although the NFL is still conducting an investigation. Fantastic running back. Got accused of something a couple months ago, and it's been messing up the preseason. We'll see how that all shakes out. Fully guaranteed 4-year, $11.4 million deal. So Marcus Lemonis, you know this guy. He responded to this. The Barstool Sports said Dad was able to get a home run ball for his son, but a Karen in the section was not going to let him keep it. Marcus Lemonis says, I'll send this young man and his family to the Major League Baseball World Series on me. Oh, and you just won an RV as well. You don't ever validate those ladies. You just don't. But now he won a trip to the World Series and a free RV. I think Marcus works with an RV company. The Fixer, The Prophet. I've watched his shows. I like it. Unconditional lover of business. Bravo, Marcus. Here, we'll type that. Bravo at Marcus Lemonis. We watched this video and we're horrified that the father caved to this crazy Karen. Your kindness helps balance the force in the universe. For both. Balance the force in the universe. Would you join us on the Agree to Disagree show to discuss your decision to help this family? Thanks. So now we invited Marcus Lemonis onto the program. The Phillies then went the extra mile, but you restored their faith in humanity with this. The dad kept his cool. He deserves a lot of respect for that. So the kid got to meet the players from Bader. I don't know, Bader, okay. Here's another angle on it. That was in my hands. They're booing her, as they should. Good. So the team instantly came over and gave him stuff. And all the fans know better. I'm so sorry. Are you okay? Yeah, the Karen isn't getting that type of treatment. There we go. That's something the TNAM meme team could do. Maybe John Boy could make one of these. By the way, hit like, hit subscribe, however you're watching. Karen Ball Snatcher. Karen Ball Snatcher. Give me that ball. Oh, man. And an RV. Man, I would love an RV. I've always wanted an RV. Maybe I'll get one soon. Yeah, it reminds us of this classic moment. You remember this? This kid catches the ball, but he has another ball in his hand. And he turns around to the cute girl and gives her a ball. But not the ball. He's like, hey, 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 hey. That's pretty awesome. I know. Crazy Girl says people are going to hate on the dad for giving up the ball. But teaching your kids not to argue over trivial things with crazies is probably the better life lesson. You know, no, it's not. If we have a crazy come in here, what is it? Who's copy pasting? Another wonderful secret. Here you go. For all the brand new MAGA Sydney Sweeney fans, I would recommend watching Euphoria, White Lotus, or Handmaid's Tale, award-winning TV series featuring your new favorite actors. No, they should win. We should just stop our show, right? They should win. We might not get another president who is out on bail, found guilty of felonies, and found liable for sexual abuse. Please make sure you cherish it. It's very rare and special. No, we should let them win, right? No, there's no need to argue with crazies. Just give them what they want. That's how America has ended up in this shithole situation. That's how the globe has been invaded by idiots, and their loot, their treasure, their national wealth has been plundered by the pirates of the deep state. Fuck no. You cannot let the crazies win. You cannot let the crazies just out loud you. The dad was like, ah. You can't let the crazies win. Because then they feast upon your energy and they get stronger. And then they demand more things and more things. Many conservatives don't want the Epstein files to be released anymore because they worship an out-on-bail felon who was found liable for sexual abuse and he doesn't want them to be released. Yeah. Remember, President Trump was the only person to take the phone calls to assist in the prosecution of Jeffrey Epstein in the Florida case. Mike Johnson said that he was an asset. He was an asset who was helping take Epstein out. The only person that said, yeah, I'll take your phone call. Spent many hours, multiple days in a row. Remember that? No, you don't remember that. You like your MSNBC deep state narrative. Like a good little puppet. Up, 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 up. You gotta feed the puppet. Ooh, that's good. Now I'll keep puppeting. Up, 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 up. CNN told me this. MSNBC told me that. Some crazy Democrat said one thing, so I better repeat it. I better copy paste it in all of the podcasts. No, we should let them win. Yeah, don't argue with crazies. Okay. I guess it's your world now. You get to control the world, Karen. Another wonderful secret. You're in charge. Another horrible jobs report was released yesterday. The unemployment rate went up again to 4.3%, highest level since 2021. 2021, that's a couple of years ago. What is the economy lost jobs in June, the first time since December 2020. Okay, I guess you win. We should have elected Kamala. We're with her. Si se puede, right? I guess you win. So I don't know. I don't agree with this not arguing with Karens or crazy people. Oh, absolutely, Kenneth. She had that MK Ultra crazy Democrat. It's in the eye. Always in the eyes. No, you can't let crazies win. They're very smart to have made things right for this fan. Look at her wicked face. I want to go steal a ball from a boy. Oh, this is well said. The Phillies game just turned into a whole metaphor for America. Perfect. This is so perfect. You know who that lady is? You know who this Karen is? You know who it is? Another wonderful secret. For all the brand new MAGA Sydney Sweeney fans, I would recommend watching Euphoria, The White Lotus, and Handmaid's Tale, award-winning TV series featuring your new favorite actress. Give me the damn ball. Shut up. Shut up. Oh, and I know you're not supposed to feed the troll, because then they get what they want. But guess what? Letting them get away with everything that they want gives them what they want. So you're damned if you do or you're damned if you don't, but at least you have a fucking spine to stand up against crazy. The deep state Democrat power narrative since Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton, Barack Hussein Obama, go back as many decades as you need to. Their plan is to get in your face and threaten you, be mean to you, threaten violence to you. You know, a troll like that last week, piece of shit. You know, the TNAM Daily Show up on the, where am I pointing? It's all inverted over there. It's a division of the Agree to Disagree show. We're allowed to agree to disagree. The point is having more conversation, but it's not to get shut down, and you're definitely not going to come in and threaten me. You're not going to come in and threaten any of us. If you threaten one person, you're threatening all of us. That's how this works. So there is no backing down from Karens. And yes, maybe that's caused a little bit of headache for me in my life. You know what else is a headache? Allowing crazy Karens to get their way. She has become a metaphor for America. Yeah, I know. And someone's married to that. I saw that too with the hand. I'm like, oh gosh, she's got a ring on. Can you imagine that household? She even gives Karens a bad name. The lady got a ball and looks like a psycho on national TV. Kid and family meet the player, get a ton of swag, World Series tickets, and a damn RV. LOL. Well done, people. Yeah, I don't know that I would have it in me to do what that guy just did. This one at an Astros game, they're climbing over seats trying to find it. Yeah, I got a ball for the first time in my life. Yes, yeah. Oh, hi. Okay, you have it. And that made her day, and that's a great thing to do. Guys, I've been watching baseball for decades and decades and decades and decades, and I've never got a ball. Not a foul ball, not a home run ball. I was close. I was close to a Jose Ramirez home run ball in right field. The guy's right in front of me. I almost had it. Those things become cherished possessions, kind of like a moment. But you just wait your whole life for that moment. Giving that away or throwing it back on the field, that's tough. It's all tough. That kid wants an RV. Anyway. She has the ball in the bag and she looks happy. What if somebody took that ball from her? Did you steal the ball from the little kid? Yes. What did it cost? Everything. Thank you for making this. Thank you. Who is this? This is exactly what I saw. Exactly what I saw. It's Elizabeth Pocahontas Warren. Okay. Thank you. At Veritas Libert. There you go. We saw this awful lady and instantly thought of Pocahontas. How the hell do you spell Pocahontas? P-O-C-A-H. Pocahontas. T-A-S. Pocahontas. There we go. That's perfect. TNAM humor. Look at this image. This is exactly. Kenneth, you saw this too, right? That's exactly what you thought of. The haircut, the demeanor, just awful. Anyway, you know what? Just I know there's super important world things happening. Kenneth, yes. I know there's super important things happening in this world, but sometimes a pop culture flashpoint can really tell you where we're at. Now, did the ball touch her hand? Was it in her hands? Did he steal it from her? I don't think I saw that. If there's a different view of it, what happened, I'm willing to consider it, but maybe the dad did take it and that's why he gave it back. He's like, oh, whatever, I guess I did take it from you. I didn't see it that way. The ball's fair game until somebody gets it and goes like this. It's a free ball for anyone to grab. The fastest person gets it. That's it. That's how baseballs work when they're dumped into the stands. If someone gets it and goes, yeah, and someone grabs their arm and yanks it and steals it from him, that is bullshit. That's not what happened. It was on the ground and he grabbed it and secured it for his son. But man, that really is a metaphor for America right now. All right, let's take a look at this. Let me, I guess, mute the music. I'm gonna have to get used to this navigating music. So, Chris Menahan says Hasbara agent Brandon Tatum. What's Hasbara? Actually, I'm curious. Let's look this one up. There's the FBI field office on the screen because we did have to report that psycho that came in threatening people. Going through my tabs here. Yeah, you're damn right I'm reporting that to the FBI. You're not going to come in and threaten me and get away with it. And I don't tolerate it. I don't accept it. That's not normal. That's not okay. I've been broadcasting for 14 years. You don't treat people that way. All right, so what am I looking up? Hasbara. Oh, man. Calling Brandon Tatum a Hasbara agent. It's Hebrew, translating to explanation in English. Is Brandon Tatum a Hasbara agent? I don't know what that claim is. I don't know the word. There's no evidence Officer Tatum is Hasbara agent. Israel's public diplomacy efforts to promote its image and policies, also often involving coordinated advocacy. Tatum is an American YouTuber, conservative political commentator, author, radio personality, and former police officer known for his commentary on politics, culture, and law enforcement. I call him a grift. Whatever. Anyway, I didn't know the word, but let's take a listen to this back and forth.
Israel, if you actually talk to the majority of Christians, talk to them, you'll see what they say. They say Israel is the only place where we're respected and protected.
And I can attest to that as a Christian who went to Israel. I spent 2 weeks there with the church, and we had an incredible time. We had only one incident where a small child spit on one of the pastors, and immediately after there was an adult that came by and said, "That's not a representation of who we are. You know, we love you guys. You guys are always welcome here." And I have to say, no adults gave us any grief. We had no issues whatsoever. And our experience there, it was actually an amazing experience.
And in Israel.
So, translation. As Chris Menahan says, Hasbara agent Brandon Tatum tells Netanyahu how happy he is that his Christian congregation was only spit on once during their visit to Israel. You can't make this shit up. Luke says, what? And we seconded that. What? Because that's the story you hear a lot. Christians going into Israel get spit on by Israelis. You know what they think about Jesus Christ. I don't get it. I don't get why. What? Because of a passage or two passages, a little line or two in the Bible. I don't see respect coming to Christians or to Jesus Christ. And I don't get the fascination. Oh, chill music. There we go. That'll make my commentary a little more chill. Because this is a topic I don't get into very often. There's a lot of stories that Christians get spit on, and that's how Israelis view Christians, Christianity, Jesus Christ. Why are we bending over backward? Oh, they're our greatest ally. They're our greatest ally that spit on us. Well, so glad, Officer Tatum. You only got spit on once. Hey, I went all last week. You know how many times I got spit on? 0. That's better than 1. I feel like getting spit on is like vile. So you go to Israel and you get spit on, and yeah, bravo. Who paid for the trip? And you know, oh, you're supposed to take your pilgrimage to Israel like people take their pilgrimage to Mecca. So then if you get your all expense paid vacation, then you're gonna be favorable. You're gonna want to say nice things about the place. Oh, I had a great time. Yeah, I got spit on, but I cucked for Israel. So what do you expect? Something had to go wrong, right? By the way, just so we're crystal clear, I am no Hamas supporter at all. I'm me. I'm a Christian. That's where my allegiance lies, and that's it. I don't have a secondary allegiance to Israel in any way. They're a country put there in 1947, and there's a growing number of people that are critical of why that happened, how that happened, who's running it now, what the game plan is, their expansionist policies. But I also recognize, they're like, oh, you're committing a genocide in Palestine. You're like, hey, war is hell. That's why you don't start a war with your neighbor. If you didn't want to find out, maybe you shouldn't have fucked around and killed 1,200 people at a concert. Oh, wow. Harsh reality. I don't have a team. I don't have a side. I don't give a shit. I would like people to stop dying in a war. But at some point, when you realize that your neighbor is going to keep firebombing your house, you take out your neighbor. That's self-defense from any nation. Anybody would want to do the same. And when they chant from the river to the sea, yeah, they want to eradicate every Jew and dump them into the sea. They want them gone. They want an ethnic cleansing. Make no mistake, they, the Palestinians, Hamas, I don't know, how far do you expand it out? The Muslim community, the Arabs, the Islamists, the radical Islamists. To which degree and which group, I don't know. It gets so convoluted. They would absolutely commit a genocide and wipe every single Jew off of that space of land. Because they claim they have no right to it. 1947, you stole this land, we're going to steal it back. We're going to fight you to the end of time. We will never stop waging war with you. In fact, we're going to come into your house a couple of years ago and butcher 1,200 at a music concert, at a festival, music festival. Yeah, that's what happens in war. You annihilate, and you make sure that it doesn't happen again. They're committing a genocide. Well, you shouldn't have started a genocidal war. Just rest assured, if Hamas had their way, they would run through there and tear that place apart. Every single last one of them. Like termite tenting. And you just, everything inside, gone. I don't know. I just don't get the fascination. And I get that the three religions are, they have their different ideologies. And I don't necessarily care what anybody does on their own time with their own money in their own place. If you're going to try to tell me that you want to conquer my area and install Sharia law and steal my Bill of Rights and my Constitution, no, that's a non-starter. That ain't happening. Anyway. All right, this is maybe the best video you'll see all day. Music off for this one. I press pause. There we go. Perhaps the best video you'll see. So I have major concerns about seeing President Trump sitting literally right next to Mark Zuckerberg. One of the shittiest people I've ever known. Deleted the page for the New American Media. No reason given. No explanation, no opportunity to remedy any alleged issues. Can't monetize. You know how much time I put into Facebook thinking that I could build my empire that way? I guess I'm a sucker. I'm a fool. I'm a fool for thinking Facebook, Meta, Zuckerberg was a place that I could build a brand. Oh, sure. There's like 100 conservative influencers or constitutionalists or libertarian or anti-woke or anti-deep state influencers that can make money. I haven't figured it out because we're so shadow banned. Shit, what are our stats right now? 0 watchers on Facebook. We have 2,000. We have thousands and thousands and thousands of people that we've had for a decade and a half They don't show our restream to fucking anybody on that platform. I loathe Mark Zuckerberg. Can't stand him. And what he did to dump, what was it, $500 million? Let me ask Grok. Where's the page I had here? Here we go. TLDR version. What did Zuckerberg do to rig the 2020 election? Grok can be woke sometimes. So if you say something this way, it might shoot back. You didn't rig it. There's no yep, there you go. There's no evidence Mark Zuckerberg rigged the 2020 election. Yeah, except for all the evidence. Okay. What do you call him and his wife, Priscilla Chan, donating $400 million to, air quote, you can just call it, when you see nonprofit or NGOs, non-governmental organization, you can just say deep state asset. Like when they say they're coming for our democracy, you replace that word with bureaucracy. They're trying to steal our bureaucracy. You're damn right we are. Can't stand this bureaucracy. They donated $400 million to places like Center for Tech and Civic Life. Then they took it. It's all a shell game. Everybody takes 10% and you pass it on to the next person. And everybody stays rich and fat and happy. And they pay people like this. Who's this person in our chat? This dork that copied pasted a couple times. They provided grants to election offices for COVID-19 related voting infrastructure. Oh, like mail-in processing and safety measures. They're safety measures. The funds disproportionately went to Democrat areas. Absolutely. Boosting turnout for Biden. Absolutely. However, the Federal Election Commission unanimously dismissed complaints, finding no wrongdoing, and analyses showed grants were to both red and blue jurisdictions. Zuckerberg also faced scrutiny for Meta's content moderation. Yeah, as he should, because they've been stealing our ability to speak about world events. My personal profile, I was blocked out of it multiple times. I wasn't coming in here doing shit that would get me I didn't deserve the punishment that I got, being blocked from our audience. I'm running a business here and they just shut it down with no reason and no remedy, no opportunity to contact anyone to clarify what was happening and figure out how we could remedy the situation. Nothing. They were one of the worst companies, and I consider Zuckerberg to be one of the worst humans on earth for that. Zuckerberg, Meta's content moderation, like briefly limiting a Hunter Biden laptop story. Briefly? Fuck you, briefly. Briefly? Yeah, Grok can hallucinate, and Grok sometimes, based on how you frame the question, it will push back on your narrative. And it's interesting to see. I just use Grok as a tool. I don't think Grok is accurate. I don't think Grok is the say-all, end-all, be-all. But look, I'm not an expert on every story, and I couldn't possibly devote enough time to become an expert on every video I see, every claim that's made. Yeah, so I'll shoot things to Grok. Is this true? Is this true? Is this true? And it can give context, and I can either accept that context or do a further deep dive. Zuckerberg later expressed regret, stating it wasn't partisan. Bullshit. Allegations of rigging are largely based on, it's misinterpretation and lack of evidence of fraud. Okay. So there you go. That Meta wants you to, or Grok wants you to know, there's no wrongdoing there. Nothing to see there, right? Well, anyway, Zuckerberg's sitting here. Donald Trump, Melania Trump, sandwiched in between Bill Gates and Mark Zuckerberg. We said this is how things should have went down with Gates and Trump at the White House. This is one of the funniest things I've seen. Autism Capital shared this and said, brilliant. I've been no Bill Gates fan forever, and I'll just let you play this, or I'll play this for you. Might be the best video on the internet today. It's a parody. Enjoy.
Well, I just wanted to apologize for every single fucking version of Windows that sucked, which is basically all of them. Also, sorry for creating viruses just so I could profit from selling you the antivirus software. And on that note, sorry for spreading real viruses by profiting from vaccines and shit. Also, sorry for sterilizing so many of you. There's just too many of us, and some of you are not nice. That's why I'm trying to block out the sun. Anyway, I just came here to ask for a pardon from all the Epstein shit. Thank you.
It's getting harder and harder to tell fact from fiction, parody from reality, but that parody sort of sums it up. Yeah, the big Gates accusation, you know, I think it's proven, but, you know, call it an accusation, but it's that he was creating the viruses to sell you the antivirus software because he's a piece of shit. That's what pieces of shit do. Oh, and he's also doing it with literal viruses and profiting off of vaccine. Yeah, it's just unrelated, completely unrelated. So bravo to Autism Capital for making that video. And I said, that's how the meeting should have went down. He should have said something like that. Good morning, Danette. Is it Robles or Robles? Because I know I used to go to Paso Robles or Robles. It kind of depends on who you ask. Love Paso Robles. I would love to have a couple 100 acres in a campground. Oh, that sounds so good. I'm very much looking forward to. Oh, I got to get my ticket right for the Powerball. Like $1 quadrillion or something tonight. Danette says, look into that a bit deeper. The concert attack in Israel. They knew it was going to happen, just like our January 6th. We knew it was possibly going to happen. They knew too, it was planned and allowed it. And look, that's exactly what John B. Wells has said. If you're not following, if you've never heard my conversation with John B. Wells, right here at the very top of our Twitter feed, our X feed, this is a link to our Patreon page. People can sign up for like $10 a month or something, or $100 a month, or $1,000 a month, whatever you can do. It's awesome and appreciated. But this will take you to our Patreon page, and this is our conversation with John B. Wells, talking about God, Trump, Biden, Deep State, World War III, Israel, and the rest. So if you've never checked that one out, please check that one out. And yeah, John has said that too, and Blake Wally has said that, and he and I had some plenty of spirited conversations, discussions, debates, if you will. And I said, if you have proof that because the claim is they knew and they let it happen. I said, all right, so let's talk to me like I'm stupid. Let's walk through. Are you telling me that there were Israeli soldiers who knew about what was going to happen, and their job is to protect their friends, their family, their countrymen, and they were standing by, watching 1,200 of their people get butchered, and they were okay with it, and they waited, and then they only gave their response afterward once the false, they call it a false flag, but it's not false. That's a bit of a misnomer. A false flag just means something designed as an attack and then maybe recalibrated and twisted into something else and blaming someone else so that you could follow up with 100 times the retribution. They say that's exactly what happened at Pearl Harbor. That we knew about Pearl Harbor and we let it happen. Had to let it happen. Churchill needed us in the war and the American spirit wasn't there. So you had to get serious and look at 9/11. Well, it's not like we wanted to go into a global war on terror. And by the way, look at how the debt has exploded since 2001. If the chart that I was looking at was accurate, you see about, I'm trying to remember the exact stats, but maybe it was like 33 of the 37 trillion on our national debt all got added. It spiked right up after the global war on terror. I'm reminded of one of my favorite comedians, Mitch Hedberg. Norm Macdonald on this one. He's reading the news and he says something about blah, 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 and you're going to do about the global war on terror. Well, I say we should fight the war on terror at its source, America's haunted houses. He does the joke back. You know what? No, I want to hear the joke now. No, Norm did it so much better. I really shouldn't try to. No. I'm fine trying to do Norm jokes. No shame in that. Let me fill this up. I bet I could find Norm haunted house McDonald. Actually, it's proving to be tricky to find the joke. Anyway, it's great. I suggest going after the source of the problem, America's haunted houses. That's where you find the terror. But look, I said, explain to me like I'm an idiot. So they're literally just watching their people getting butchered, and they're just saying, show me that they were deployed and they were watching. Show me that they gave the go-ahead. What is, I know that's the accusation, but walk me through it. Show me what evidence proves beyond a reasonable doubt that that's what happened. Now, maybe it is likely what happened. Maybe it's possible that happened. And maybe I would entertain both of those as potentialities. I don't claim to know everything about this. And people say that Hamas was created by Netanyahu. And you need a boogeyman so you can explode the boogeyman and expand your territory into greater Israel. All of the conversations are out there. I'm not, like I said before with the Officer Tatum story, I don't have a dog in the fight. I don't view either of those groups as someone I align with or have an allegiance toward. Why would I? I'm an American. I have one loyalty. I have one jersey, and it's America. I don't have enough bandwidth to be a forever. I just don't. But no, I'm very, very aware of that, and it is possible or probable. You're right. If they wanted to take over Gaza, well, you're not just going to do it. You would have to have an event, right? You can't just go take it and bulldoze everything and rebuild it into the, what is it, the Riviera? What did Trump say? Like turn it into the, what did he say? Monte Carlo of the Mediterranean or something like that? Knock it all down and then build it up. I mean, look, if everybody's saying, oh, it's such a terrible place, Palestine, oh, Gaza, it's just terrible. It's an open air prison, they say. I'm like, well, why isn't Israel dealing with that and letting them in there? Well, they don't want them either, because when they come in, they try to blow everything up because they're violent people. They're trying to invade and take over everything that they can touch. Oh, okay, so just blame Israel on that one. Anyway, I've had every version of this conversation and debate. I hate the topic because I don't know what's right. I don't. But I'll entertain it. I'll listen to it. I'll consider it. But if, like, I would love to see there's a question. If anyone knows the best place, because I've heard the conjecture, I've heard the stories, and look, John B. Wells is echoing a lot of your sentiments, Danette, and I hope you listen to that interview if you haven't yet. But I would like to see, like, show me, when we say the Epstein case and the Epstein files, just lay it out. What do we know? What is actual evidence? Just lay it out. I still don't fully understand the scope of it. Yeah, we've talked about it for years, and we sort of know. There's political blackmail from Israel. Is that what it was? That's part of the story? Unless that's totally not true. Unless it's totally true, right? He was a Mossad agent, and it was all about political blackmail, so you could have power and control and put Trump in your back pocket. It's not about Trump. It's about everybody since 1947, right around the time the CIA was created, by the way. How long has the CIA been actively fighting the American people and the American interests? Maybe the whole fucking time. I thought they were the good guys. Turns out, did they take out Kennedy? Just like they might be trying to take out another Kennedy now that's getting a little too close to some uncomfortable truths about our medical industrial complex. Oh, yeah, look, Danette, I dig deep into all these, and I'm open to the conversation. But I would love to see like a one-stop shop that could lay out, you know, and they say, well, a pigeon couldn't land on across the border without 20 people being instantly notified. You're telling me people in hang gliders were able to, and you're like, You're telling me people with box cutters? See, now you're making my point. It couldn't have possibly happened. It was all a psyop. You mean it didn't happen? No, it totally happened, but we did it to ourselves, just like they did it to themselves. Okay, so where's the one-stop shop where I can get all of the accusations and the proof? Where can I see it in one spot? Review the information and go, well, that's pretty compelling. But then, of course, if you get that, is there one spot that would debunk that? Okay. Scott Adams often talks about the documentary effect. If you watch a 90-minute documentary, pick any topic, say Michael Jackson. You watch one and it's like, it's laying out how Michael Jackson was framed and it was money laundering and all the accusations were shakedowns. By the way, that's part of the reason why I'm getting a little spooked on what's going on with the Epstein case. You get people. All right, Kenneth, what is your impetus to give the oi? Because you drop the oi sometimes. Is it something I say or something you think? Or is it something you think after certain things that I say where the oi comes out? I'm curious. I meant to ask you about that. But when you get Gloria Allred, who's been part of networks that have been promoting, hey, we'll pay you $750,000 if you can say bad things about President Trump or accuse him of something. Jussie Smollett, Bubba Wallace, Trevor Bauer, goes on and on and on and on. Accusations. Oh, your spelling is what did it. Okay. Thank you. Anyway, I have thoughts. I have thoughts on all this. Okay. Anyway, let's just get back to this. I thought this video was great. I don't trust Gates or Zuckerberg at all, and I hate that Trump's getting chummy with them. The only reason I would want them that close is to personally put the handcuffs on them. Yeah, John Boy liked it. Patriot Warrior, Texas. Shared that. In the game yesterday, people are taking issue with Patrick Mahomes. You know, the NFL goes to great lengths to keep their players from getting injured. But, you know, you have defenders that are letting up instead of hitting these guys. But on this play, Patrick Mahomes drops his shoulder and blasts into the defender that's letting up on the quarterback. Well, it's one thing to let you run out of bounds. It's another to attack the defender in the process. Dalton Feely is saying refs shouldn't defend him if he gets hit late near the sideline now. And that's true. A tough guy hit to the defender. Yeah, the only reason you were able to hit him like that is because he laid off and didn't hit you with the full strength that he could have destroyed you with. But then again, I mean, he's expecting to get hit, so that's why he dropped the shoulder. I'm kind of whatever with that. Elon saying if AFD doesn't win, Germany is kaput. Did my story make sense? Did my conversation about January 6th? Oh yeah, January 6th too. Yeah, that was a complete setup. It was an absolute setup. I was there. Go back and look at our footage. It was an absolute setup. Wall Street Maverick is saying Germany is ready for a massive change. The AfD party is the only party that supports mass deportations. They now have a huge lead in the polls. Of course they do. Shame on anyone for voting otherwise. However, readers are adding context. The post is targeting English speakers who likely can't read German. The image in German shows results for Saxony-Anhalt, not nationwide Germany. Without German knowledge, it's easy to misinterpret this as a national poll. AfD is at about 25% nationwide. Okay, well, maybe not. And I'm not buying that anybody would not want to defend their nation against invaders. Here's a link to our show from yesterday, NFL Week 1. We have betting trends and fantasy football stardom situm predictions for Strictly Football Season 2, Episode 2, if you like sports. This is what the newest member of our TNAM meme team created. This is John Boy. He created this one. I talked about how the new American media were basically trash pandas. Were raccoons digging through the rubbish, trying to separate fake news from fact. So I said, give me an image where we're like a softball team called the Trash Pandas. And he added the new American media patch on the arm. So like, I kind of like the whole concept of where we're going with the TNAM Trash Pandas. Because the news is rubbish every day. It really is. We're just sifting through it. The good stuff from the bad. Oh, this is food. Nope, that's trash. Oh, that's trash. Wait, there's food. We don't know what's real. Nobody knows what's real. We're doing our best. By the way, this is perhaps the most important video on earth. And I've been following this for a while. This is the lawyer for Epstein's victims. What is this account? Wojciech Pawelczyk. Okay, so it's someone in Poland. That makes sense. That checks out. Called a Polish far-right extremist, according to the far-left Southern Poverty Law Center. Yeah, SPLC is a terrorist organization. You have professional smear campaigns from the ACLU, Southern Poverty Law Center, ADL, Anti-Defamation League. These are all like public relations hit job, character assassination organizations. And Scott Adams just talked about this as well. He's been targeted. Anyone that uses the term far right, like they're done, like their credibility shot. That's not a term that anyone should use without comedic intent. But this right here, this is Jeffrey Epstein's, lawyer for Epstein victims. Derek Bro's interviewing him. Derek Bros is no fan of, I don't know what Derek Bros even likes. I know what he doesn't like, which is most things. I met him briefly in probably a couple times. But yeah, I mean, look, there's a lot of pundits out there that'll just tell you all sorts of negative things and just give you negative stuff. And maybe I do the same and I just don't realize it, but he asks him a question, and as we try to understand what's going on with the Epstein case, take a listen to the lawyer for the Epstein victims here.
The only thing that I can say about President Trump is that he is the only person who, in 2009, when I served a lot of subpoenas on a lot of people, or at least gave notice to some pretty connected people that I wanted to talk to them, he is the only person who picked up the phone and said, let's just talk. I'll give you as much time as you want. I'll tell you what you need to know, and was very helpful in the information that he gave, and gave no indication whatsoever that he was involved in anything untoward whatsoever, but had good information that checked out and that helped us, and that we didn't have to take a deposition of him.
That was in 2009?
That was in 2009. The only...
So Speaker Johnson came out yesterday and mentioned that Trump has, in case you missed it, Trump is the only person to answer the phone and help the prosecution of Epstein. So people are trying to pin Trump with being bad on the Epstein story. You know, he's the only one that actually helped, and that counts for something. All right, Zero Hedge reporting RFK Jr. and HHS. Yeah, please share that video. That is so crucial because Speaker Mike Johnson yesterday came out and said that Trump was a federal informant since 2009. Matching this interview right here. It's corroboration. Trump's hated Epstein for a long time. Which does make it infuriating. Like, why isn't he just nailing all these people to the wall? He could. But then it's like, well, what evidence is left after the deep state had control of it for 4 years? Fair question, right? What evidence do you think would be left if it would take out your team, the Clintons, and go down the list of people implicated? All right, Zero Hedge saying RFK Jr. and HHS to link autism to Tylenol use in pregnancy per the Wall Street Journal. RFK Jr. to announce folinic acid may cut symptoms of autism per Wall Street Journal. RFK Jr., HHS, to also link autism to low folate levels. Wall Street Journal. I just don't get all the hatred for Bobby Kennedy for the life of me. Don't understand it. And my understanding is that he's talking about actual stories, actual research. I don't know. I mean, the status quo isn't working for many people. So the apple cart needs to be overturned because there's some rotten shit inside of there. And the more you let rotting stuff fester, it'll ruin the whole batch. A rotting apple will spoil the whole bunch. That's what they say. And by the way, we shared this. This is Styx Hexenhammer talking about another AFD member gets assassinated. I think 6 or 7 of them have now died under maybe suspicious, maybe not suspicious. But we asked Grok to do the math. What's the likelihood that this could happen organically? And it didn't look good. Didn't look good. Not very likely that. Imagine 7 MAGA members suspiciously dying of air quote natural causes, all right before a midterm. It's just not, it doesn't happen unless it's a targeted attack, you would feel like. Keep your eyes peeled on Germany. Germany needs help. They have to defend. All of Europe's been invaded. You have to kick out the people that tried to break into their country. And they're not just coming in and being on their best behavior. They're literally abusing the people of these countries, spitting in their faces, you know, graping them and ending their lives. The amount of migrant crime is through the roof. And it's all unnecessary from people that should have never been there. Maybe Germany will lead the way in restoring Europe. We'll see. Keep your eyes peeled on the AFD party. That's essentially, you see AFD, you could think MAGA. Are they going to respect the sovereignty of their nation? That's the question. All right. This is a fun video. What's her name? I forget her name. I know her. Caitlin.
Becoming the owner of what?
What is her name? Can somebody tell me her name? Caitlin Bennett. There we go. Yeah, they come out and try to harass her, saying that she'll be arrested if she goes back to the farmer's market. But things are rescinded. And you can be out there talking to people because it's a public space. Eventually trespassed and asked to leave. And get up, stand up for your rights. So it's a fun video. You know, they tried to strong arm her and get her out. And they don't have the right to do that. So if you don't flex your rights, you could lose your rights. Hey, here's a reminder. Here's a throwback. To watch that video if you'd like to see it. It's a good 6-minute interaction. But you have to know what we're allowed to do and not allowed to do. People will try to shut us down all day long, and if you let them, they'll win. This right here, the disrespected trucker says, look at this guy driving on the exact opposite side of the road. Throwback to when we had to drive behind this absolute maniac. This guy has no business being behind the wheel of a semi, zero business. Oh my God. You almost hit that guy head on. What is happening? My thought to everybody out there, my message, please be a little extra careful out on the roads around truckers. There's an epidemic of people that don't know how to read, don't understand English, should have never been passed and approved to be big rig truck drivers. And I think the transportation secretary, is that Sean Duffy? All these names, they blur together. I think it is. Actually, let me just ask. Now I'm super curious. Look at this terrible driving. He's the U.S. Secretary of Transportation. Yes, Sean Duffy. Look at him. He's in the other lane. Oh, my God. I would be honking my horn nonstop. I wouldn't be able to watch that. How do you not honk? Yeah, that is someone that has. Oh my God! Please be careful on the roads. That's just terrifying. So Lionel says he's not investing in the United States. He's buying the United States. How stupid did they think we are? Let's listen to this Mark Zuckerberg moment.
Well, thanks for hosting us. I mean, this is quite a group to get together, and I think all of the companies here are just making huge investments in the country in order to build out data centers and infrastructure to power the next wave of innovation. So it's we don't often get together as the CEOs of the different companies, but it's good to see everyone.
How much are you spending, would you say, over the next few years?
Oh gosh. I think it's probably going to be something like, I don't know, at least $600 billion through 28 in the U.S. Yeah.
It's a lot.
No, it's significant.
That's a lot. Thank you, Mark. It's great to have you.
Thank you. Well, thanks.
I don't like them being chummy at all. Amy Meck says New York City has lost its mind. Mayor Eric Adams has elevated Muhammad's birthday to a holiday status in New York. Just days before the anniversary of 9/11, the deadliest Islamic terror attack on American soil, New York City has surrendered itself to Islam. At City Hall, Mayor Eric Adams presided over a celebration of the Prophet Muhammad, the exact figure invoked by the 9/11 hijackers. While activists today falsely portray him as a champion of peace, history records a very different figure. A political leader who waged wars, oversaw countless executions, and enforced submission by the sword. This is the legacy being whitewashed in the very city that still bears the scars of 9/11. Instead of solemn remembrance, City Hall echoed the chants of whatever that is, an open display of Islamic supremacy to the very heart of the city, once blanketed in the smoke of burning towers. And it doesn't stop there. Adams even appointed a Pakistani-American Muslim women's liaison officer. Jeez. Pakistani-American Muslim women's liaison officer. That's like 20 syllables. The propaganda at this event was staggering, a masterclass in whitewashing history and portraying a ruthless warlord as humanity's savior. Speakers boasted about the so-called Charter of Medina, selling it as a document of peace, equality, and human rights, but that's a lie, says Amy Meck. The charter was nothing more than a temporary tribal pact that Muhammad used to consolidate power. Jews were only tolerated if they stayed loyal. When they resisted, they were expelled, enslaved, or slaughtered. To call this a model of coexistence is a deliberate distortion meant to deceive the public into believing Islam invented tolerance. No, there's nothing tolerant about radical Islam. Why is New York normalizing Islamic propaganda at the expense of truth, history, and the memory of 9/11's victims? Instead of holding Islam accountable for its violent legacy, City Hall is elevating it, sanitizing it, and turning it into a civic celebration. This is a shameful and dangerous surrender, says Amy Meck, founder and editor-in-chief of RAIR Foundation. You have CARE and then RARE. What is RARE? I don't know what that. Does it tell me? What does RARE stand for? Because CARE is Council of American Islamic Relations. What does it? I'm at their website, but it's not. Rise, Align, Ignite, Reclaim, a grassroots activist organization comprised of everyday Americans leading a movement to reclaim our republic from the network of individuals and organizations waging war on Americans, our Constitution, our borders, and our Judeo-Christian values. I guess that's like that's like a reaction to CARE. That's like the pushback to CARE, I suppose. Right Angle News Network says, breaking, it's been revealed that the Hyundai battery plant that's been raided in Georgia, here's the video, is being operated almost entirely by illegals. And it's the same facility built with a $5 billion Biden administration investment to bring jobs back to Americans.
We need construction to cease immediately. We need all work to end on the site.
La Migra. Migration. $5 billion Hyundai gets grants to bring American jobs back, and these American jobs are going to illegal aliens. RFK having a cookbook would be awesome. Bear. And he'd drop a bear. A bear and a whale. It would have bear and whale and heroin and Zyn. Oh, somebody gave me a Zyn yesterday. I put it in my pocket. I'm like, I don't want to start doing this. Well, Bobby Kennedy's like, if you're going to consume nicotine, this is the way, because nicotine has had a lot of positive effects on focus, work, production, productivity. You know, people smoke cigarettes and drink coffee, and like there's some chemical reasons why that happens. But of course, the really bad part is when you smoke something and get all that tar into your lungs. That's where it gets really bad. But yeah, shame on Hyundai, shame on Biden, shame on all this stuff. Get the illegals out. The Americans should be working the American jobs, period. And don't be ashamed to say stuff like that because it's so obvious. The RFK cookbook. I would take a look at that. All right, so Inevitable West. Breaking. Donald Trump calls out the UK free speech shutdown.
I will just say that in terms of UK, strange things are happening over there. They are cracking down, and surprisingly so. And I've spoken to the Prime Minister, and let's see what happens. But it is a little bit different situation. I'm very surprised to see what's happening in. Are you talking about the UK in particular, right? Yeah, I'm very surprised to see what's happening. Sad. It's not a good thing. Yeah, please.
No, and so if Trump is schmoozing these people to lean on them to get them to make sure you're going to keep these networks open, and you're going to have to fight the censorship in Europe. I mean, I get it. There's a million battles that are happening at once, and there's no clean way to be in politics. There's no easy way to do it. You don't have to love Israel to say, I don't want radical Islam to be gaining ground. The goal is to dominate everywhere you go in the caliphate, take over every area, and convert everyone to Sharia or destroy them. How you can't make friends with that ideology. Now, not everybody who participates in the concept of Islam or being in that. I mean, people say it's a religion, and other people say it's not a religion. It's a political ideology of power. Well, is Trump bringing Zuckerberg and Gates in to make sure that Europe can cast off the invading army that's trying to take over its entire geography, like you saw before the Crusades, to expel the radical Islam that was invading all of the nations, Spain, France, go down the whole list. Turkey, Northern Africa, these used to be Christian nations before the invasions, before the war that Islam waged, constantly waging war to expand and dominate. For as much as I hate seeing Mark Zuckerberg tummy and palling it up with Trump, well, they're talking about the scourge of what's happening, that they're criminally going after people that are being critical of their nations being invaded in Europe. We don't want to be invaded by military-aged men who are going to abuse our children and wives and sisters and mothers and grandmothers. Shocking. There's nothing wrong with that. That's what you do as a human. You grow your spine and you defend against an invading force. So, I mean, means to an end. Could Instagram and Facebook play a role in not succumbing to free speech to help Europe out? Like, what does he have to give up in the process? Is there something in the trade? Is there an art of the deal component here? I don't know. I really don't know. Yeah, he knows Starmer's lying. We all know. Here's a video, 4-minute video you could check out. Jenny McCarthy. Donnie Wahlberg speaking with raw clarity on the price of asking questions about vaccine safety. Reveals deeply personal context. His wife, Jenny McCarthy, has a vaccine-injured son, Evan. Your private talks weren't about just getting to know each other, about something else that comes along with me. The palpable danger of having your rights trampled, your career threatened, and your character assassinated for simply seeking answers about what happened to her child. And that is exactly what happened on the TNAM Daily Show when we had somebody come in and threaten me saying, oh yeah, you're going to have a lot of fun with your jaw wired shut, threatening to end my life because I was discussing what? Oh, you're lying. You're lying about what? Yeah, Bobby Kennedy, vaccines. Huh? What is the lie? Couldn't articulate it, but was here to threaten me. Threaten you. As if we don't have the right, the obligation, the moral duty to question everything. Question with boldness even the existence of God, for if he exists, he would surely prefer that of reason over blindfolded fear. I almost got that quote right. Close to it. Close to it. If God exists, he would prefer someone with reason than just someone that obeys compliantly over blindfolded fear. Although, is that really the message of the Garden of Eden, or is it not? I don't know. We don't need to get into that. But I can tell you, no, look, and this story is close to me by proxy. I understand both Jenny McCarthy and Jim Carrey to be trying to figure out how to say this, because there's I'm familiar with this situation on a deeper level. And, you know, they were bashed for a long time, like they had no right to question what happened and why their kid got injured. They have every right to question it. Lay off them. I'm firmly in their corner. Let me just leave it there. FBI Director Kash Patel says there's incredible work from the FBI stopping a potential school shooting. A suspect was released on bond, but they moved in quickly to arrest him and secure federal charges to keep him detained and our children safe. A North Carolina man was charged with making online threats to massacre dozens of children. It says black children. That was the specific. Okay. Well, I don't want to see anybody attacked in schools. Good work. Wall Street Maverick here. Donald Trump shares this picture and says it looks like we've lost India right here to Russia in the deepest, darkest China. May they have a long and prosperous future together. President Donald J. Trump. Trump says we lost India to China. We need to cancel the H-1B visa program for all of India. We don't have a shortage of programmers. Start sending them home to India. Why aren't we doing our own damn jobs? Why are we outsourcing this? It's madness. Jenny, me like. Oh, that reminds me. Yeah, I met Jenny McCarthy too. Well, she walked right past us at the talent agency where I was working. I should actually check in on my buddy. He was with me at the time. Apparently everybody's talking about this catch. How did they make this catch? I think is this catch. That's a great catch. Anyway, I can't show sports on here for some reason. It's so stupid. This guy freaks out. This person says they stalks this lady through the station, lurks on the stairs, and tries to ambush again. He's wearing a Hot Girls for Zoran shirt. Zoran Mandami. Mandami the commie. Mamdani the commie.
You turn on a
attacking
fucking
us.
nasty
You're
Israeli
talking to us.
fucking song.
You're talking,
bitch.
He's attacking us.
That's a fucking lie! You're monsters! Because I'm a Jew.
You're monsters! Okay, don't know the context. This right here is our episode yesterday. Battle of Human Health goes nuclears. RFK Jr. HHS hearing exposes Big Pharma. Check out yesterday's show. Jasmine Crockett here says she wants people to understand that there are crimes that are committed, not because people are criminals, but because they literally are trying to survive. Oh, yes. There's a wimpy white in the middle nodding in agreement. Yeah. Yeah. Crime isn't crime. It's like the concept of crime that's the crime. You know, like we should all be able to. Reminds me of Aladdin jumping around trying to get a piece of bread so he doesn't starve. Jasmine Crockett is a goober. Yes. Nod and say yes. No, we need to restore some sanity in our public spaces and stop stealing from each other. And no, stealing is not the worst thing that could happen, but it's something that needs to be corrected. What is this one? This woman refused to serve the MAGA crowd at her restaurant job, and now she's out of a job. Check that one out. It's almost 2 minutes long. Oxnard, California, ICE and local police take over the emergency room entrance at St. John's Hospital looking for illegal aliens. Each year, American taxpayers waste billions of dollars servicing illegal aliens for medical care. And that's ending now. So there's this guy, Drewski. He's a black comedian. And he wore white face. He wore white arms. He wore red neck, literally. Aaron Haroon says he needs to be canceled for this. This is absolutely awful. Joe says, so after this stunt, blackface is okay now? And James says, speaking of the whites, I don't think anyone's offended. And you know what? I've taken this year to perform stand-up comedy. And kudos to the people that do it. It is an art form. I know how to deliver this program. Delivering 4 minutes is such a different muscle, such a different sport. You know, it's like when I tried out for the rugby team. I tried it once or twice, and I was like, I don't know, I'm just not getting it yet. And I've had laughs on stage doing stand-up. I've had silence on stage. I could feel the energy leaving the room because I'm not getting enough laughs on stage. I've had people come up to me and go, holy shit, that was the funniest thing I've heard. Like, that's the best impression I've heard ever. In regard to like a Bobby Kennedy impersonation that I've done on stage several times. I've done little pieces of it, and then I've done full 4 minutes. I'm just going to stay, and I'm just going to keep committing to it. Like how the old Simpsons would get funnier and funnier, like, as was the custom at the time. That's why we tied onions around our belt. As was the custom at the time. The old Simpsons, like the Conan O'Brien years, the pupils were extra big on Homer, and they were all a little extra dumb, and sometimes the jokes would just go and go and go, and it's like, this is so dumb. And they stay committed to it, and it gets funny, and it gets hilarious, and it's like, I'm so glad they did it that way. But yeah, speaking of comedians, this whole blackface thing, like, look, there's a professional outrage industry that we've been funding through the universities, and it's just cranking out angry racists that hate white people. And it's like, if you want to find racism and problems with everything everywhere, you can find it if that's all you're looking for. You have a good wolf and a bad wolf inside you. Which one wins? The one that you feed. If you're just like creating this professional outrage machine that has to like screech about injustices every day, you're going to try to find it everywhere. And oh, blackface. Oh, they wore blackface. Oh, blackface. Oh, blackface. Yeah, I dressed up as Michael Jackson. Doesn't matter. Dressed up as a white guy. That's funny. I actually am very not familiar with Drewski. I guess a lot of people like him a lot. I'm just not familiar. I don't know his stuff. So I almost literally don't know anything about the guy. I've probably seen him a couple times. He's a black dude. This is fantastic. It's fantastic costuming. Looks great. That's the best white face I've ever seen. You're playing a character. It's allowed to dress. You're allowed to dress like any character. So yeah, it's officially over. No more of this freaking out over blackface thing. It's not meant to degrade and this and that. You're playing a character. Play the character. Everybody dresses for their role. Bring back Robert Downey Jr. in Tropic Thunder. Marlon Wayans in White Chicks. This fake outrage. I am so offended by everything in life. I hate everything about everything. Shut up. We've got to get past this as a nation. And we got to stop funding and coddling the people that just keep dumping their rage at you every day. Just tune them out. Tune them out. Now, I don't know his act and what he did there. I don't know if he was making white people look stupid or not. I don't know. He went to a NASCAR event and he looked like one of the homies. All right. Let's take a listen to this here. A little bit more on Bill Gates. Let me drop the music. If I can find it. There we are.
Career giving away. Well, I'm in the second phase of my career, giving away all the wonderful money that Satya's good work has helped multiply a lot. But I think the thing that ties my first career that I still spend some time on because AI is so phenomenal, and my second career is innovation, innovating in health in areas like vaccines or gene editing, and the president and I are talking about taking American innovation to the next level to cure and even eradicate some of these diseases. He mentioned polio, which is one that we're close. We don't need new science on that one. For some like HIV and sickle cell, we do need new science, but the U.S. Has the seeds that in the same way that Warp Speed took those seeds and put them together, I think something fantastic can be done. AI for our foundation is that we want a doctor for everyone in Africa through AI. We want farmers to have incredible advice and kids to have a chance to learn. So the work being done by the people at this table is changing the world. It's coming fast, so it's great. We all get together and talk about how the U.S. can lead in this key area and apply it even to the poorest outside the U.S. as well as to our great citizens. So thank you for incredible leadership, including getting this group together.
Well, there are people that are super concerned about this, rightfully so. There we go. Rightfully so. In fact, in the comments section, Murray says, how many times do you need to see this before you realize it isn't 5D chess? Trump opening the floodgates to a criminal psychopath like Gates is a slap in the face to every American, especially the ones who voted for him. Stop making excuses for this. There are none. Shadow of Ezra says, Bill Gates, alongside President Trump and Melania, said he's in talks with Trump about vaccines and gene editing. He explained the goal is to take American innovation to the next level with hopes of curing and even eradicating most diseases. Gates said his work will change the world. Zuckerberg on a hot mic with Trump.
How much are you spending, would you say, over the next few years?
Oh, gosh. I think it's probably going to be something like...
There's a second part.
I don't know, at least $600 billion through 28 in the U.S. Yeah.
It's a lot.
No, it's significant.
That's a lot. Thank you, Mark. It's great to have you.
Sorry, I wasn't ready to do for announcement. He said I wasn't sure what number you wanted to go with.
On the hot mic, he said, I wasn't ready to do our announcement. I wasn't sure what number you wanted to go with. So that's like Zuckerberg saying, what number did you want me to say I was investing? But it's like, it's up to you to come up with the number. You have to say it. President Trump is considering banning American IT firms from outsourcing their work to India per multiple reports. Nick Sorter says, do it, 47. Quality of life will go up for every American. And my account will probably be blocked in India after this post. Michael Schellenberger is saying that comedians have been arrested, candidates prevented from running from office, and mass censorship. There we go. We're obligated under NATO to defend democracy and freedom, and Europe is attacking both. If Europe won't end the censorship and denial of democracy, then the U.S. should end NATO. German Chancellor Friedrich Merz is in violation of the NATO Charter for preventing Joachim Paul, AfD, from running for mayor. So, I mean, the battle over Europe is a raging. Cleveland Hopkins Airport director casting doubt on legitimacy of safety concerns being used to block the Browns' proposed stadium in Brook Park. Cleveland Browns are trying to move, and it's kind of a mess. What is this? Libs of TikTok reports this.
And bias. We can be proud of the diversity in our armed forces, but we should not be satisfied. We need to listen to one another, examine areas where we fall short, and when necessary, enact change.
I agree, sir. The goal of removing barriers starts with strengthening our culture and bond with our airmen by having necessary and uncomfortable conversations.
General Kenneth Wilsbach, a reported top contender for the position of Chief of Staff for Air Force, posted a video vowing to ensure diversity and inclusion is a reality in the Pacific Air Force. DEI does not belong in our military. So we'll see how that shakes out. We all know about DEI. We've done shows about it. Mike Benz posts this, a red alert at the White House State Department. Brazilian judge ruled that removing content deemed unlawful under Brazilian law is not enough if it's limited to Brazil. The judge is now demanding the global removal of online content under threat of hefty fines for their platform, even if the content is not unlawful in other countries. So, like, the stuff happening other places does actually matter. The stuff that's happening there is coming home to roost if we don't protect ourselves. Mike Benz says, I hope the White House understands what this means. It means Brazil can force American social media companies to take down any pro-Trump tweet or Facebook or Instagram post or YouTube video everywhere it appears in the world, or they'll be fined into oblivion and bankruptcy. Yep, line in the sand, people. Why is Tom Hanks trending? U.S. Military Academy suddenly canceled its planned ceremony honoring Tom Hanks as an outstanding citizen. In the email, officials offered no clarity on whether Hanks' award was revoked or simply postponed to another format. Instead, the Academy said its priority is shifting back to its core mission, building the world's most lethal force. Why would the military under Trump refuse to honor Tom Hanks? Tom Hanks puts up a message, I am not allowed to talk, with Oprah on his shoulder. I don't know who this lady is. Ah, right then. By the way, you saw the player that got spit on, right? Dak Prescott spit first. And then Jalen Carter gets up to him and spits on him. Jason Kelsey says, and the truth shall set you free. Jason Kelsey, of course, played for the Eagles. I had an interaction with Jason Kelsey on X. He was very gracious answering my question. I came at him and said, why would you wear a Broncos jersey when they're playing the Browns? You grew up in Cleveland. And he offered a very long, very thoughtful. Come up, Nimbus. Come on, everybody wants to see you. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Come on. He's ready to jump. There he is. Nimbus has entered the chat. Mr. Nimbus, king of the wild frontier. Hi, buddy. Haven't seen him all morning. He's been chilling upstairs. Haven't you, pal? Oh, he's being super sweet. My 19-year-old buddy. He's there have been challenges with his there have been challenges. But he's my buddy. He's being so sweet. He's just like falling into my lap. Hi, pal. Here, let me set you down so I can continue the show. Whoop. It's okay. All right. Music. But anyway, it looks like maybe Dak Prescott spit first and then Jalen Carter. Jalen Carter was kicked out. But that was a big story after the NFL opening game. Nimbus, we heart you, says Kenneth. Ow, ow. I knew those claws were going to dig in. It's okay. All right. Emerald Robinson says, the whole point. Well, here, let me play this clip first, and then I'll tell you what Emerald Robinson has to say about Bill Gates and Zuckerberg being here.
I also just wanted to mention, we don't have to get into all the details we talked about in the Oval Office, but I think it's a real incredible inflection point, right?
By the way, Sergey Brin, Google is one of the other worst companies on earth. They've absolutely ruined YouTube, stolen my monetization, and kept me from earning a living because they don't like the stories we're covering, all while running cover for the deep state and letting them knowingly and intentionally lie about everything every single day while we get punished for trying to tell the truth as we know it. Thanks for joining. It just comes over to say hi and then goes back probably to feast. Sergey Brin and Google. Google has the worst customer service. They've ruined YouTube, stole my monetization and my ability to earn a living. I can't stand Google either, and that's who you're listening to, Sergey Brin with Google.
Now in AI, and the fact that your administration is supporting our companies instead of fighting with them, it's hugely important. Obviously, it's a global race, and I think we're at the cusp where these AI models are about to become profoundly useful, kind of beyond the, okay, wow, it's cool, can do that, but actually day-to-day incredible utility, incredible productivity. So very grateful for your administration support.
Emerald Robinson says the whole point of voting for Trump in 24 was to avoid the Biden tyranny supported by the tech oligarchs. Here's Trump in 25 hosting the future surveillance tyranny supported by the tech oligarchs. This is a total disaster. Amy Lou says, it's strategic, but I guess you don't play chess. AI is happening regardless of any administration stance. Best to bring the enemy closer. Maybe it's keep your friends close, but your enemies closer. Should he not at least hear what they have to say? We said looking at Zuckerberg and Gates not wearing prison stripes makes us ill. Why is Trump dining with these people? Zuckerbucks fueled a big part of the 2020 debacle. Oh, if you see this footage of a nurse stealing a watch, it's a staged video from Body Cam Declassified. It's a reenactment. I'm going to rate that as very helpful. Because that context needs to be added. You should be able to, like, there's nothing wrong with videos, but you need to, like, let people know what you're watching if it's parody. It's easy to understand. It addressed the post-claim. Important context. Submit. But beware. If you let somebody go to the hospital with a $45,000 watch, it might disappear. So Yep, 450 undocumented illegal alien invaders in a worksite raid at Hyundai plant in Georgia. Bravo. Parents of the DC shooting victim saying thank you from the bottom of my heart. Eric Parpinian-Jackiem delivered justice with their son's tragic ending. He was shot, 21-year-old, and they're thankful. I don't have enough context there. Update, South Koreans are the majority of the 475 illegal alien workers arrested in the ICE raid at the Hyundai battery plant construction site in Georgia. Do you want 475 illegal alien South Koreans in your state taking your jobs? Why would you? You know, the thing that needs to be crystal clear to everybody, for those of you in Rio Linda, California, I am against the illegal invasion of anybody from anywhere. Doesn't matter if you're, what is this one, South Korean, Palestinian, Ukrainian, Russian. I don't care. I don't want you sneaking into our country. I don't want your military-aged men sneaking into our country to try to invade us and overthrow our nation. And yes, it could happen. And yes, it is the stated plan of a lot of groups. And yes, there are sleeper cells. And yes, there are, I mean, it's a military incursion. So, yeah, I am as equally against a South Korean invasion as I am of an Islamic invasion or a Mexican or South American or Central American invasion or Chinese invasion, like anywhere. It doesn't matter. I don't want it. There's a process to go through if you want to come in here, and you go through the front door. You don't sneak in the back door. That's what she said. Hey, remember this clip from MSNBC? It's an all-time classic.
Now RFK Jr. is like, processed foods are bad, but he's not doing it with any research backing it. It's just his wild conspiracy theories, and I'm concerned. Now
He's concerned about wild conspiracy theories that say processed food is bad for you. We are all completely aware that processed food is bad for you. My cat is not your dinner. Okay. Oh yeah, your friend Kindle. That's okay. I was the Kindle. Yeah. Okay. That's what my brain was registering yesterday when you mentioned that. But yes, let me tell everybody real quick. Super big thank you. Here's what we're asking for Danette or Kenneth or everybody else watching. Hit like, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. But these are our analytics. And of course, YouTube hides our content from so many people. But we're trying to claw back. You know, do we qualify for eligibility? We were monetized for a while. And then they hated the stories we were covering, so they stole it from us. But we're trying to get it back now. So they're saying you need 500 subscribers to get eligibility for Super Chats. We have 6,418. You need to have 3 video uploads in the last 90 days. We sometimes do 3 shows a day. Okay, we're fine. But then we need one of the following. Either 3 million views on shorts or 3,000 valid public watch hours on our content. So right now we're at 2,738. We need 262 hours. 262 hours, then we can click that button to apply. We can apply. They'll let us know when we're eligible. Yeah, I mean, look, they might block us and they might not open it up to eligible. Who knows? But at that point, it would be on them. If we meet the criteria, we want to get our super chats and our subscriptions allowable on YouTube because, face it, this is my job, but I'm not getting paid for it. You know, Kenneth, Kenneth is a member of the team. Kenneth is a real one. You're a real one, Kenneth. You know, like PBS, content brought to you by viewers like you. It really is your assistance through crowdfunding that keeps us going. We're not at the place we need to be to cover our full expenses each year, each month. Specifically, I'm just breaking it down month to month. You know, probably $10,000 of investments into just technology to get new equipment so that we can provide you this show, and the Restream software, almost $1,000 a year to deliver it to you. $200 a year from Best Buy to keep the Best Buy service package on this device. It was several $1,000s that had to be upgraded to keep up with the streaming capabilities of what we're trying to do. Yeah, probably $10,000 into equipment, and then at least $10,000 going to Milwaukee, going to the Republican convention, going to the Democrat convention in Chicago, going to the Libertarian convention in DC, going to DC for inauguration. All of it. Probably $15,000, $20,000. So I have sunk most of my energy of manpower hours, mental brain bandwidth, and finances into this thing. We're not where we need to be. We need to be 50x, 25x. Because I don't get paid for this. I don't actually have endorsements. So like, I do this as a labor of love because I think people need to understand what's going on in the world and need some proper context. And I'd be doing this stuff anyway, I suppose, but like, I enjoy the show that I create. Some of my most fun moments, rewarding moments in my day are when I get to connect with you. I love doing this. I just haven't had a strong urge to go work for somebody else to tell me what they want me to do. I like doing what I do, but it only works if it's funded. And the fact is, it hasn't been enough, but thank you to everybody who's tossed anything in the tip jar over the years. Good point to put that up here. Our Patreon link at The New American Media, our tip jars, Venmo and Cash App, my name, Brian Engelman, scrolling at the bottom of the screen. Or if you want to send a gift over on PayPal, it's fuzzinstallment@yahoo.com is the email address. Yeah. Yeah, so what we're trying to do, the point of all that is to say these are the analytics of our YouTube channel that we are trying to rebuild. Kenneth has a device watching our videos. If anybody else could do that, grab an extra phone, grab a laptop, grab a desktop, go to your smart TV, go to YouTube, and just play. We need 232 hours. If each of you can do 5 hours, 10 hours, 20 hours, 30, like we'll get this done in no time. If you could just let some videos play. I think you need to be at like 1 volume for it to be considered an official hour viewed. Let it roll. This weekend we could do 10 hours a piece, 15 hours a piece. Like just let a device play, and when it stops, go to the next one. Play a playlist. Click to play a playlist, and it'll just go through them nonstop. And then we can apply for the monetization so the other people on our YouTube feed can find us. So thank you, Kenneth, for your friend Kin Dell watching our shows. And I hope that any of you that appreciate the shows that we put together would do the same. It's a way to contribute for just, I would say $0, but of course it's using a little bit of your electricity to plug in the device and keep it charged. But that's it. That's a great way that you could help us reclaim our monetization so it can help us cover our monthly operating expenses so that we can keep delivering you this volume of content. I can't continue to deliver this volume of content without the revenue coming in because bills need to be paid now. I've invested as much as I possibly could into this. And now I've reached an inflection point. I've reached a moment where something's got to change. I need to go get a 9 to 5, and I can't do this in the middle of the day. That's why I keep telling you I might have to go to early morning or late in the day, or we're just going to need more support from the viewers. We'll see how it shakes out. We'll see how this shakes out. I have a firm belief that this is what I'm supposed to be doing on this earth. This is what I need to be doing. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. I don't know. But if you could watch some extra hours of The New American Media on YouTube, that's a little thing that you could do to help support the channel. It would mean a world to me. Grab a device and let it play all day and just keep clicking, let it play on playlists. 232 hours is not a lot. Then it would enable monetization on the YouTube channel. So thank you, Kenneth. His friend Kindell is watching shows, by the way. Much appreciated. Yeah, that lady saying processed food is a conspiracy theory. She's seen a few Happy Meals. This lady. I love that processed food being bad for you is a conspiracy theory. I just don't understand the unhinged Bobby Kennedy attacks. It's so stupid to me.
Now RFK Jr. is like, processed foods are bad, but he's not doing it with any research backing it. It's just his wild conspiracy theories. And I'm concerned. Now
You are concerned. That's a big lady right there. Adam Carolla says that's rich. Andrew McCabe apparently told the Inspector General he didn't recall being briefed on the Wiener laptop emails. According to Paul Sperry. Remember the Wiener laptop emails? Oh, that was a topic we covered. That was one of 30 topics we covered that the deep state hated, which is why they stole my monetization in the first place. But now with Trump back in office, the blatant monetary censorship and attacks on conservatives, libertarians, constitutionalists, anti-woke, anti-deep state people like myself, some version of those. The game has changed. Sergey Brin of Google is right across from President Trump. Maybe they'll think twice about fucking with us this time. Maybe we'll be allowed to earn an income and put advertisements back onto our fucking videos again. We were monetized for a long time, and we started getting checks from Google AdSense revenues going, okay, I see the light at the end of the tunnel. I can work creating content and pay my bills. I can do this. And they took it from me. They stole it from me. I haven't been able to make any fucking money doing this for the better part of the last 14 years. And yeah, it's a frustration. Why wouldn't it be a frustration? Imagine doing what you love, but you can't pay your bills doing it. So what? You either go through all of your personal savings, which I have done, because I believe in me and I believe in the product. I believe in myself. I believe in, I know this is right. Now, I'll know it's righter when we get a few $1,000 monthly Patreon people, or enough of the $100 monthly Patreon people, or enough of the $5 a month Patreon people. I think it's $5 per posting, and we post twice a month on Patreon, so I think it's $10 a month on that. I know we can do it, but we got to do it. And it's tough when YouTube really limits the amount of people that watch your content. Because we used to show up on recommended and suggested videos, but like they hide it. But what we're trying to do is train the algorithm to be friendly to the new American media again. Whether it works or not, that's on Google, fine. But that's something in my control to ask you, the viewer, can you put a couple hours or a couple devices and just let it play as much as you can. When we cross that threshold, man, I hope we can get super chats enabled and subscription-based content enabled, and we can open that up as another revenue source. Because I want to keep doing this forever. And I want forever to be a while. Anyway. Is it okay if I just rewatch? I don't know. I think so. I think anything watched with at least one click of volume should qualify as a viewable hour. I don't know if the volume thing is there, but like really, if it's at one volume, you almost don't even pick it up at all, but it would probably count. I just look for long shows and have my headphones in. There you go. It shouldn't be hard to find long shows, should it? Speaking of which, I'm going to wrap up with a rapid fire. If you have any stories you want to talk about, or any comments or questions, or tell me what you did last night, if you did anything fun, or if you have anything great planned today or tomorrow, let me know in the comments. Very curious to see how you're living your lives out there. It challenges my comedy. Good afternoon, David Bann, reporting from Ontario, Canada. In the future, this will be shown at the TNAM University. I love this. I love the TNAM Trash Pandas. I love TNAM University. Hell yeah. Yeah. I got big plans, people. Kenneth says, David, arrests are still coming soon, my friend. You know, David's always like us, like, where are the arrests? And I'm like, thank you, David. Keep hammering that every day. I want the arrests, the mass arrests. Will it ever happen? I don't know. B to the Ryan. Brian. Yeah, and look, maybe Trump did give all these people a stern talking to, a warning shot, talking about Europe and how they're fighting back and they better not. Talking about Brazil, the online censorship that they're trying to ban worldwide. Bringing all these people together to tell them you're not fucking doing this. You're not doing what you did to me the first term. You see me in charge, you better not mess with me this time. Maybe there is maybe there's a point to this diplomatically. I don't like hearing Gates talk about his projects. I don't want him involved in any of this stuff. And frankly, I don't know. The keep your enemies closer thing. Why aren't there Epstein arrests? I don't know. Fingers crossed. I know, David, it's getting frustrating. It is super frustrating. I've had to take my frustration, put it into a box, and then set it up on the shelf. Oh, hey, look, this might be, I don't know. I was guessing this might be an actual comment. Another wonderful secret. Let me ask you, why did you tune in today? You say, as longtime conservatives, we don't like colleges or people who attended them. What the fuck are you talking about? Okay. Remember when I said it's a Trump, he's a threat to our democracy. Oh, it's a threat to our democracy. They're lying, all these Democrat deep state actors. They mean it's a threat to our bureaucracy. We are the deep state entrenched, and you can't stop the gravy train. We're in charge. We run the country. It's like, the fuck you do. No, you don't. It's not a threat to our democracy. It's a threat to your bureaucracy. You change the verbiage a little bit. No. Longtime conservatives love colleges and people who attended them. What we hate is indoctrination. It's not education. We love education. But when your colleges have turned into radical Marxist indoctrination camps, no, we don't like that. That's a cancer that spreads through our country from people who think they're smart. But in reality, you found wimpy whites and a bunch of compliant people who say, dear teacher, I want to be praised. What must I do? Oh, I must regurgitate the bullshit you just told me? Sure, I'll say, can I get a good grade, teacher? Can I get a treat? And they stand on their hind legs and they perform. And they create more radical Marxist lunatics. No, we don't like that. We love education. But every Saturday, we love watching two liberal indoctrination centers play college sports against each other. Yeah. They asked the head coach of Grambling State, playing the #1 Ohio State Buckeyes coming up here. I'm going to watch it in a moment. About the game. He's like, well, we both have two incredible bands. It's a great line. Because those HBCUs, the historically black colleges and universities, by the way, give Trump credit, damn it. He said, all these HBCUs, every year they come out hat in hand begging for money. I'm going to fully fund you forever. Just stop coming and begging. It's not a good look. And you just funded them. Like, stop. Like, this is a whole charade. You got to come in and beg and plead. And like, it's just stupid. We're going to fund you. Anyway, Grambling has an awesome band, and Ohio State has the best damn band in the land. That's literally what they're called. The best damn band in the land. So, no, the oi of it all. David saying you have a great point, wonderful secret. I don't know if it's a great point. I mean, we don't hate colleges. We hate colleges abusing little kids, 18, 19, 20, 21-year-old kids, abusing them with the bullshit rubbish of your failed policies, your backward radical Marxist agenda. Can't stand it. That's what we don't like. We love education in college, universities in general, but not what they've morphed into lately. And yeah, sports is great. Absolutely love it. Anyway, Andrew McCabe told the IG that he didn't recall being briefed on the Wiener laptop emails. But in a document Cash Patel has found, FBI EAD Coleman emailed for the record. Coleman telephonically contacted D.D. McCabe at his office number to advise him of the circumstances. September 28, 2016. Brian Cates says he left a paper trail, in other words, in case anybody came looking. And now it's happened. Awful nice of him. I do believe that justice is coming, David. I do believe that eventually these Andy McCabe's and these monsters in the deep state, I do think a lot of them are going to face justice. There might be a few people that are still useful enough, because isn't that the claim with Epstein? You drag people into a honeypot, you get them on camera, getting blown by two chicks or something, and they're married and they don't want it to come out, or getting pegged by some guy, and it's like, oh, well, I am kind of into guys, but I can't say it publicly, and now I'm on tape saying it, or no, I'm on tape doing it, and I don't want my wife to find out. I don't want my constituents or my shareholders to kick me out. Crap, you got me. What do you need me to do? Ugh. Fine, I'll do it. That's what we all understood the Epstein thing to be. I do think I'm starting to morph my theory, my philosophy, my mentality on this. There might be people like Gates that are still useful enough to keep on the hook and to impact change and change what's happening, change the restrictions, change the censorship, change the attacks on the deep state enemies. Is that valuable? Yeah. You compromise your morals by letting bad people go free? Well, all right. Well, if the operation was a joint United States Mossad-Israeli honeypot operation, as has been alleged, to get these rich and powerful people in compromising positions so that they become assets for you, so that they will do what you tell them to do, we wake up and find ourselves in the middle of this gigantic mess, don't we? So do we burn it all down? Or do we get these people now to do the right thing instead of the backward thing? I hate everything about all this. Can't stand all of it. David says, I seriously hope so, that some arrests are coming. I'm tired of all this evil carrying on. David says, I understand what you're saying also. Yeah. David, you're a sharp cat. We appreciate having you every show. Like I get it. And it's a funny little line for someone to copy paste, but I'll thank our hate watchers, because at least you're adding to our YouTube algorithm. It's more hours watched, and it helps us get closer to monetization. So thank you. But let me put it out. A direct conversation to another wonderful secret. What brought you here today? You fit the mold of other people that we've seen copy paste these paragraphs of things. It's a very obvious thumbprint of what you do. But are you a real person? Where are you watching from today? If we can ask. We know that Kenneth is in Florida. We know that David's in Ontario. Where are you watching from? That's what we do here. The regulars, we find out a little bit about each other. So if you're going to be here and you're going to be commenting your snarky little shit, where are you from? Where are you watching from? Very curious. Oh, that guy punched a roadside worker. I've had 3 weird North Carolina stories. North Carolina construction worker punched in the face because he told a driver to slow down in a work area. Was the guy arrested yet? He plans on pressing charges. Workers wrote down license plate, which police used to identify the suspect. Suspect's known to police, but has not been publicly named, so I don't know if he's been arrested yet. Okay, I'll wrap. Here, this is what I told you about Speaker Johnson saying about President Trump and Epstein. And this does bear out.
He's not saying that what Epstein did is a hoax. It's a terrible, unspeakable evil. He believes that himself. When he first heard the rumor, he kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago. He was an FBI informant to try to take this stuff down. The president knows and has great sympathy for the women who have suffered these unspeakable harms. It's detestable to him. He and I have spoken about this as recently as 24 hours ago. He's not saying that what Epstein did is a hoax. It's a terrible, unspeakable evil. He believes that himself. When he first heard the rumor, he kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago. He was an FBI informant to try to take this stuff down.
He was an FBI informant to try to take this stuff down. Yeah, and I will say, just Trump calling it a hoax, it's he's got to change his messaging. That doesn't make. What is the hoax? The messaging doesn't ring true. He's got to that worked for the fine people hoax, the drinking bleach hoax, the insurrection hoax. Like, these things didn't happen, but they were framed a certain way. You can call those hoaxes because they've been misrepresented so crucially and intentionally. But he was an asset to take him down. Who knew? I have so much more that I could get to. I really could do a 4 or 5 hour show each day. But I'm going to wrap it up. Well, let's just play this last one since I have it pulled up here. CNN talking about health and wellness.
The news has to do with Florida, where they're trying to overturn all vaccine mandates, including vaccine mandates in school for children.
For children? Why do you say it that way?
Vaccine mandates in school for children.
For children? Why do you do that?
Mandates, including vaccine mandates in school for children.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're watching the wrong
this
view
to
here.
me is one of the most interesting and, in my opinion,
Yeah, let's
most
hear children
troubling
on the-
trend line.
To overturn all vaccine mandates, including vaccine mandates in school for children. What do the polls tell us about that?
Okay, this to me is one of the most interesting and, in my opinion, most troubling trend lines that we have seen. Okay, vax kids
troubling
against infectious diseases, the government should require it. You go back to 1991, it was 81%, okay? Then
please stop saying 1921 or 1991. That makes me feel so old. It's 1981. Don't say 1991. I'm screwing up the dates. 1991.
the government should require it. You go back to 1991, it was 81%, okay? Then we go to 2019 at 62%. Look at where that number fell to by 2024. It was just 51%. That is a 30-point drop from 34 years ago. My goodness gracious, now a bare majority say that the government should, in fact, require kids to be vaccinated against infectious diseases. Amongst Republicans, it's the opposite. The majority say the government shouldn't require it. Now, I should point out this does depend a little bit on question wording. The polling out this morning says that the government should encourage it, but encourage it is very different from requiring it. And when it comes to requiring it, the American public has become increasingly skeptical of the idea that, in fact, the government should require kids to be vaccinated against infectious diseases.
IT guy says they overreached with the terrible COVID situation, and then many more people began researching all of the vaccines versus blindly trusting them. This had nothing to do with RFK Jr. Rather, RFK Jr. was a result of this. Keep in mind, you can go get your countervailing views on health and elections at cdc.gov, who.int, or cisa.gov/rumor control. I tell you this under duress because the little tech overlords of Google and Meta would censor the fuck out of me for trying to have this conversation without giving you this that's scrolling at the bottom of the screen. You need to go get countervailing views from people more trustworthy than the American public, more trustworthy than that evil RFK Jr., they say. So, ta-da. All right. That is where I'm going to put a pin on today's program. Thank you all for being here. I'm going to watch some Ohio State football. Are you in? Anyone else watching? You want to watch? Let's have a great weekend. And we'll be back on Monday at noon. On behalf of Danette, David, Kenneth, everybody else watching there in the TNAM universe, the TNAM Trash Pandas. Yeah, you're right. That's exactly. I was trying to sign up, but I'll give it a second. Florida stopped the vaccine mess. Yeah, it's the video I watched yesterday. Kenneth did it again. It is such a disarming thing to say, Daddy, don't go. Daddy, don't go. That's literally how I read that. I don't read your comment as, Daddy, don't go. I hear, Daddy, don't go. Kenneth, you're hilarious. Danette, you are old. We are all old. Hey, you remember what happened back in 1998? Remember when you were listening to Backstreet Boy? I don't know, whatever you were listening to in 1998. Actually, I think that was 1998. Fun fact, I got paid to rig. Oh, you don't think elections are riggable? Oh, this is a great time. I don't know that I've ever done like a expose, if is the right word, but I had a job in college. I worked with a market development company. I was paid to make phone calls to vote for MTV Total Request Live. To get Backstreet Boys and stuff, Incubus or Britney Spears or Jessica Simpson, it didn't matter. Whichever company paid the market development company, they paid people like me to make the calls, to tally them up, to make the votes. So if you say rigging an election is something that can't happen, I did it. That's it. There's no statute of limitations on putting the finger of justice on the Total Request Live MTV vote tallies. I'm coming after you. Come at me, bro. It was literally one of my part-time jobs in college. I got paid to call Total Request Live and vote for whoever paid him that week. That's a memory I hadn't really. But now thinking about how it relates to like voting machines that you get, who knows what's at. If you have paper, you can look at it and count it. You can see a watermark. You can see a barcode. No, this is legit. You can scan it and go, this has not been duplicated. This barcode's only been used once. You can filter out all the duplicate. If you're not doing it, every ballot is tabulated. It has a little stamp or a numerical code or something to it, watermarks. If you ever had a conversation about, well, I don't know that we got accurate results on that. Let's go back and double check. All you got to do is take a look. All you got to do is take a look. Tally it up if you want to. But on voting machines, you don't know. I want paper ballots that you vacuum seal, 24/7 surveillance. You lock it in a place where everything can be stored, 24/7 surveillance. There's power and there's surveillance footage inside and outside of the room. You have to keep it for 7 years. Like our systems are not in place, and we need to fortify that, because I think these deep state Democrats would be out on their keisters. Your keisters. Hogwash. I haven't heard keister in a fortnight. Yeah, I think the deep state would be absolutely demolished. 5-1, 4-1. They're at about a 19% approval rate. That's 20%, 4-1. If we had accurate voting. But yeah, I rigged elections of Total Request Live, top artist requests of the day. And I would just have like whatever time frame it was. I had to call nonstop during that time and take note of how many times I got through and voted. So, Creed. Okay, Creed's another one. I got paid not to make phone calls for Creed. I got paid to go from college to Cleveland. It was about a 2-hour drive. I got paid for it. And a park. I got reimbursed for it. And they shipped me a box that I had to bring with me, or like a duffel. I put it in a duffel bag. And I had to hand out CD samplers. Remember CDs? Do you want 2 CDs? Do you want 2 CDs, nuts? That was my brother's, like, one of his favorite jokes. And it was one of my favorite jokes of my brother's. If you could just find a way to in talking about compact discs, and you could say 2 CDs, if you could get the other person to say 2 CDs, 2 CDs, nuts. It was like a Triumph the Insult Comic Dog, who we filmed at the 2016 Republican convention with Roger Stone and Alex Jones, coincidentally. Anyway, yeah, I got paid to go hand out CD samplers to people walking into, was it called Gund Arena at the time? The basketball arena in Cleveland. Because it's like, oh, if you like, I think maybe that one was Fozzy. F-O-Z-Z-Y, and that was, I think, Chris Jericho, a wrestler, and he has a rock band. I think they're still a band. I think they still play, I think. But yeah, they sent me like 1,000 CDs, and they're like, hey, we'll pay you to go out there and hand them out. By the way, we'll pay you, and here's 2 tickets to go see Creed. And you're like, yeah. That's actually a great business model to get people on the street. And you know what? It's pretty much that same business model that gets those rent-a-mobs that you see causing chaos in the streets. Somebody's paying these people. It's very coordinated. It's very AstroTurf. Don't ever lose track of that. But yeah, I don't know if I ever made phone calls for Creed, but I did get paid to hand out CD samplers to people walking inside the Creed concert, because the Fozzy record label people thought, hey, the Creed people are our prime demographic. If they like Creed, they might like our stuff. Let's expose them to us. That's marketing. That's advertising. Creed's opening act was Greed. No, I remember I went to a Britney Spears show and handed out CD samplers. And guess what? I got a free ticket to go see Britney Spears, like 8th row. I mean, pole dancing and stuff, 8th row. Britney Spears at her peak Britney. Not crazy dancing with with knives. Looking like what was that Scottish girl with a knife and a hatchet? It's like Britney Spears. I'm dancing now. I am dancing. And I dance, and I dance. I'm a cat. I'm a kitty cat. And I dance, and I dance. What is that from? That was like peak early internet, like late 90s, maybe internet. Is that a thing? I'm a cat. I'm a kitty cat. And I dance, and I dance. See, I don't know sometimes what pop culture is. Is it just people in my life that were weird and would say things and I remembered them and thought they were very well known to everyone? Or did other people know that? Question of the day. Do you know I'm a cat, I'm a kitty cat, and I dance, and I dance. Does that spark a memory in you? Do you know what I'm talking about? Have you seen a video and heard a song about that? Or is it just me? Oh, Kenneth is infecting. Well, not infecting. Kenneth is inspired. There we go. Here, let me rephrase it. It's all about word choice. Words matter so much. Kenneth is inspiring Danette to try some stand-up comedy there. Because yes, when I handed out those CD samplers of Fozzy to the Creed residents, or the Creed concert attendees, their arms were wide open. Their arms were wide open. Well played. Well played. All right. With that, I'm out of here. Go enjoy a great Saturday, great Sunday. I'll be back on Monday. I appreciate you. I love you. And we will talk to you again soon. Take care, everybody. See ya. Peace.
your guide to the truth. TheNewAmericanMedia.com.